Hi, Facebook community and tribe. I hope you're all doing well today, and welcome to another episode of Chef for One. That's right, I am your chef and host, Anthony Cavello. This show is designed to help the single person to be able to cook for themselves and enjoy the art of cooking. As simple as it can be, and making it as simple as possible. And to enjoy the simple elegance of doing it and presentation for yourself. Not a bad route to go. All right, today's recipe is Anthony's Breakfast Peanut Butter Delight. That's right, something very simple, easy peasy to make. Takes about, 20 minutes, because it takes that one part, the longest part, which we're not going to be going through the full 20 minutes. All right, so let's get cooking. So, we're just about ready to get started. I hope you got time to write down that recipe, but we'll repeat it again as we're going along, all right? Well, first of all, we got our pan going. We got our pan. That's pretty much basic stuff at this point. Turn on the heat on high at this point. Put in your cup and a half of water in. Let that get to a boil. And incidentally, I do these videos for a couple of reasons besides just the fact that simple elegance of learning how to cook for yourself. It's also showing you that you can slow down and make these things yourself. And secondly, also, is that it's not that hard. That little bit of the smoke is just the burners as usual, and I'm not going to turn on the fan today. So, because that thing is so darn loud you can't hear it. I finished cleaning off my stove not that long ago, so it's still kind of still smoking up a little bit. That's not too bad. But all the ingredients, if you can, as best as you can, go organic as best as possible. This recipe this time isn't vegan 100%, only because I'm using honey. You can use the agave nectar. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's not bad. It's just something I prefer, so I decided to use some honey instead. Okay, again, organic. And for the topping, I will be doing the optional topping with the banana and the raisins as well. So we're using golden raisins, incidentally. I wish those were organic. They're not. So it was like one little minor thing. The bananas are as well. The peanut butter is, and my personal favorite. Yes, you have to stir this one. It doesn't have the palm oil to keep everything together. Okay, to make it solid so it's easier to deal with. Yes, you got to physically mix it up, okay? But I prefer it because it's very simple and less ingredients. But this is my favorite. No, I'm not being compensated for this particular peanut butter, but I do love the Santa Cruz line, and this one happens to be the dark roasted peanut butter. And ingredients: peanuts. That's it. The natural salt within the peanut is already there, so that's just it. And a dark roasted, so that is it. Peanuts and the oil the oil separates, so we have to mix it. I had this in the refrigerator for a little bit. I just recently mixed this up, so it's very creamy right now. I'm going to pop it back in here because it's a little warm today. So let me do that real quick. Okay, water's not quite there. Okay, so as the water's starting to come to a boil, I'm going to use a little bit of a pinch. I reuse a lot of my glass jars for things. I'm trying to get away best ways from plastic as best as possible, and it's slowly making the conversion. So there's basically about a pinch or so in the water. That's all you need. So that's all you need, all right? And also, coconut oil. I will be using that instead of the butter. That's obvious. That's what keeping it vegan. It doesn't matter. This is the one my store offers. I'm using an unrefined. It is 100% organic, and so it is virgin coconut oil. So we're using that as well, which we already saw in the recipe. All right, water's just almost up to a boil, and we're ready to start getting this thing going. Now we're not going to sit here for the full 20 minutes to waiting for the oats to cook. So we're going to be cutting out. We'll be cutting out in a few minutes and getting towards the tail end, because this is the part that takes a little bit of time. Okay, so we're not up to a boil yet. So I hope you all are enjoying yourselves today, and thank you for visiting with me today. And I hope you like what you see. This is actually a film or a video version, not live. I wanted to see if this would work on my phone, so that's why we're trying this out for the first time. And there we go. We're getting that steam going. We're going into a roaring boil, and we'll be turning down the heat once we get it in there, and turning it down and bring it down really low for about 20 minutes. Okay, so here we go. Salt's already in the water. This is a 1/4 cup of steel cut. I happen to like the steel cut. I like the texture a little bit better. It's a little more of a roll, not so much seeing the oatmeal in a big clump. And there we go. So We're going to add that into the boiling water, whole quarter cup, and give that a quick stir. Okay, wait for that roaring boil to get back up there just a little bit, and then back off the heat. Now, the oats I have were actually a bulk item. Now, if you wanted to, I still turn down the heat, still a little high. You can go with an organic, steel cut, and completely gluten-free, guaranteed, because they're not making it in the same part of the facility where they're cutting the wheat. So if you have wheat allergies or you have a celiac, I have a little bit of a wheat thing, but so far the organic, the oats that I'm using, which isn't guaranteed, but hasn't given me any problems, you know, with my digestion or my stomach issues, so no bloating. So it's really kind of a good thing. But if you really want to go the whole way, and incidentally, it's Bob's Red Mill, for those who really want to know. I'm gonna scrape down the sides now that the bubbling has stopped just a hair. And we got this darn thing down just a little bit. Turn it down just a little bit more. And we are now cooking the oats. And we'll see you back in about 20 minutes. We're sealing it now. Okay, we're back. So we're just about to that consistency right now. I'll give you a quick shot with that quick roll over there. That's what she looks like. So that's what your consistency you're looking for in the steel cut. Now we're going to add the coconut oil, real easy. And I love the fact that the coconut milk, not a lot, like I said, about a teaspoon, not much. We're throwing that in there. It's kind of a nice way of doing it. Usually some people will put like on their oatmeal at the tail end, they'll put that pat of butter on top. I've done that in the past, so we don't have to worry about that because now it's already pre-mixed in. Let me mix that in real quick. The joys of doing these things when you don't have a full camera crew, you know, but it doesn't matter. It makes it a lot more fun, a lot more intimate, don't you think? Okay, that's all mixed in. Okay, pretty basic. I said 1 to 2 tablespoons. It depends how much peanut butter you like. Now, I'm not a big fan. Surprisingly, this, by the time you're done with all this, it has a taste of like a peanut butter cookie. And I'm not a big fan of peanut butter cookies except for a three ingredient one, which I don't have the recipe for, but it's pretty basic. And it's made for those people who have a celiac disease so they can still enjoy a peanut butter-like cookie. And it's basically peanut butter, a sugar, and I think one other ingredient, which I think is an egg, which means it's not vegan at all, but it's okay. So we got the cook. I love the smell of that coconut oil now that I've mixed it in there real good. I said 1 to 2 tablespoons. I like 1. Oh, and actually it's a teaspoon, but since I make one big heaping, it's about approximately 1 tablespoon. If you want more peanut butter, do so. But like I said before, I don't normally like peanut butter cookies, so, but I like this because it's nice and warm, and also kind of gives you that feeling of like an oatmeal cookie too. So now you see where this is kind of going a little bit, and it's, you know, nutritionally more sound instead of having the simple and the complex carbohydrates, a little bit of fat obviously, and protein from the peanut butter. So you're getting a little more stick to the ribs thing. And I tried this out a couple days ago, and I like to say it was a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't. A couple of days ago, and I realized it sustained in my body a little bit longer than usually the hour or two. It lasted me about 3 or 4 hours. So I mean, it was just a single serving, and it just did really well for me. And I hope it does well for you too. Okay, so let's go add that peanut butter, shall we? This is always the fun part for me. And we're gonna add it straight in. And you gotta understand, this has still been mixed up. It's been a little more chilled. So 1 big glob, as you can see that, 1 big glob into the oats there. Mix it all in. Okay, so yeah, you're mixing it all in. That's all you need. If you want more, add more. It's up to you. It's that's the fun part about cooking. You don't have to follow the recipes 100%. You can find out what you like for yourself. You don't need to do it exact because your tastes are going to be maybe always a little bit different than the actual person making it or presenting it to you as another chef. It's up to you, and that's half the fun. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit so I can mix this in a little bit. So now you kind of see where it kind of gets that idea that kind of tastes like a cookie, you know, and a lot better for you than a cookie. So you know, we're getting that all mixed in there, and it's got the consistency of gruel. It's got that, you know, that look to it, and it's fine. I'm also going to add the honey in immediately too, so bear with me. I'm still using a little bit of plastic here. I don't particularly care for, although it is organic. I do prefer organic. I mean, well, it is organic. Well, at least the source, excuse me. It sounds like something happened here, but it didn't. It was just the honey coming out. So that's 1, and I'll do 1.5 because I don't want to do it too much because the banana and the raisins are going to be sweet enough. So again, you mix that into there as well. Easy. See how easy this is? This is what makes it fun. This is what makes cooking so much fun. When you realize it doesn't take a lot of effort. Okay, I mean, well, it can, but depending on what you're making. But this doesn't. And that's the simple joys I like when showing you how you can make it done very simply and still have the elegance of having a halfway decent meal and not be store buying it all the time or running out to your fast food place as you're heading out for your day going for work. So, and this is the afternoon for me, but since I got up late, it was late last night due to a solstice observance I had, so I slept in a little bit late. And it's fine, but it's perfectly fine. So, okay, we got the consistency. We're going to turn off the heat. I'm going to throw the cover over it for a few minutes, and we're going to do that little bit of that banana we were talking about, right? So we're going to bring the camera on over here, and let's see if I can probably bring that down a little bit more. I don't know if I can. Nope, doesn't look like that's going to happen this time around, but so. We still have to figure out these things as we go along, so I'll show you after I cut it up. I'm going to cut it up on the cutting board, obviously, and going to do a little bit of a finer cut and then add the raisins, since we got the raisins, like I said. So, and these raisins are beautiful. I mean, if you can get them organic, I wish they would in my store. We don't, but I mean, these are just beautiful. I mean, they're a little bit different colors, obviously, because of the way they dry, but really beautiful. And we're going to chop some of that up as well. So there we go with that. All right. So we got about a little handful of that, and a little bit of handful of banana. You don't need the full banana. If you want the full banana, go for the full banana. But since I'm adding the raisins, I figured let's just go with about a half a banana and cut that up, because this is going to be like your little compote. So, like I said, they are organic. There we go. I'm going to take off the label. I never did finish doing that. Easy. Okay, we're going to save that piece for later, or eating it later for whatever reasons. Well, I know we'll be gone by the end of the day. So there we go. So we got the banana. We're peeling it off. Done. Simple as that. Again, simple recipe, simple elegance. Just cutting them up pretty fine here. The usual, you know, like you'd be throwing on top of like your cornflakes or something like that. But we're going to go a little bit further. We're going to fan that out a little bit. And we're going to make some smaller cuts now into it as well. So I'm cutting it once that way. And I think, let's cut some more. Let's go with quarters on that. Let's quarter it. So we're going to get part of that, cut it in quarters. Part of that, cut it in quarters. Yeah, I think the presentation is going to look really nice too, since I like presentation, and it's okay to make the presentation for yourself. Part of the whole idea of cooking is it basically is like a ritual, and what's really nice about that is that you can make it a ritual. So this is part of the fun. This is the part of the whole process of enjoying the cooking. So sometimes the processing itself, like I just did with a little bit of the banana there. And as well, the heat is off that. I'm going to make sure. Okay. I'm going to chop up some of these little raisins up here a little bit. Maybe leave a few of them whole. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it just has to, you know, basically it comes right down to it. If it looks good to you, it's going to look good for somebody else. And that's the reason why I do these things. But I think also the part of eating is enjoying the presentation. So that's why I spend a little bit more, maybe a little more time doing a little bit of a presentation, even for myself. Yes, I do make the presentations to myself because it's part of the art of the whole idea. So, got a couple more raisins to cut up, and I bunched them up so it makes them a little easier to cut. And since they're so big, you can really cut them a couple times, and that will be just enough. Okay? Alrighty. So, there we go. And we're going to give you the shot of that in just a second here. Forget that one little raisin that escaped here real quick. There we go. We'll show you the finished part there. It's not really together. I don't want it together. I mean, usually you would mix it. For presentational points, I'm not going to do it that way, but you can usually mix it up together. And here we go. Here we go. Let me bring that up too. Let me bring that up. There we go. There's the raisins all chopped. The bananas, sliced and quartered. So we're all ready to go to do the final assembly. Yes, the assembly part is always I always like doing the assembly because it really comes out to see how you're going to do the final creation, how to make it look. So, yes, I know, another plastic bag. Trust me, I'm working on this one. I'm very conscious of that. So let me get a serving spoon. And do I have one here available? Or is it? Nope. Here it is. Whoops. Yes, I do not have a dishwasher. I am the dishwasher. So I'm not only the chef, I also do the dishwashing as well. That's not the spoon I'm looking for. I know why. Okay, but that will work. Okay. So I got my bowl. It's always a blue plate special at my place. All that will be changing. I found some other dishes I want to be adding onto the set to change things up a little bit for better looks. So here we go. All in there. This is what she looks like. I mean, it looks like oatmeal. Basically, I'm going to be honest with you. And we're going to scoop some of that out. This is a single serving, so we're going to burn the whole thing. Sorry, we're going to put the whole thing in there. In the bowl. It doesn't look like much, but like I said, but since you've added the extra calories in there by adding the peanut butter and the protein, which is the protein here, is going to stick to your ribs a little bit better and it's going to last in your system a lot longer. So there you go. All right, so we're going to let's put some of the raisins down there first. Let's see what we can do with this, because I think it's going to look neat. So I'm trying to see what I can do with these raisins real quick. So you can, like I said, you can mix it and make it more like a compote if you like. I've decided not to do that just because of presentation. I figured this is going to look a little prettier. So, and we'll see how that works out. And that's basically it, folks. So as soon as I get this assembled up, I'll let you see the finished product. Of course, I'm going to taste it because it wouldn't be right if I didn't. So, there, now just throw a little bit of banana on the side here. Why not? Why not? Just a little bit more banana. I like banana. So, and since I've quartered it, it's not, being dominated, of the color or anything like that. Now, you can use regular raisins too. And you can also use apple, whatever your heart's desire for the fruit, if you want to go that route. If you want to keep it plain and simple, it's just the recipe minus the fruit. So, there you go. And we're going to get this thing almost done. Oh, I like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. It does look like dessert, although this is a healthy and wholesome breakfast. Vegetarian in this case, because we did use honey. Not vegan, but like I said, we can make that substitute, as I mentioned earlier. So there you go. Let me get my hands clean for a second here, off camera. And, okay, I forgot to put a hand towel out there, so I'm using a paper towel. Yes, unbleached. So, yeah. So, here we go. Here's the finished product. I hope you try this recipe out and enjoy. And leave comments on the bottom of this episode to see how you liked it and see what you think, okay? And until next time, before we do this, hold on. We're going to show this beautiful presentation I did on this. There we go. Very pretty, huh? I like it. But before we go, I almost forgot. Of course, why would a chef not taste his own creation, right? So we're going to get that spoon ready up there. In fact, we're going to put this back up over on the counter so we can do this proper. How's that? I have the other tripod, but I have to take things apart to make it work better. I have to take off the small tripod part and then put it up on the large one. And yes, let me turn off those lights. So there you go. So you're not being blinded. See, I'm a thoughtful host. Okay. As you saw earlier, this beautiful mix right here. Okay. So we're going to take a nice big chunk of that with everything involved in it. And it's beautiful. Wholesome, like I said. Not all, it's got the sugars in there, obviously. But the thing is, you're getting the protein and you're getting some fruit in there as well. So if you want to throw the fruit, you don't have to, like I said before. I decided to throw it just because of presentation. And it really looks nice. Oh, yeah. Knocked it off the park again. You have that creaminess of the peanut butter. That gives you that hint. It's not strong. If you want more peanut butter, obviously you add more. But it gives you that hint. It's kind of like an oatmeal texture-wise. It's kind of like an oatmeal raisin banana peanut butter cookie. And it's absolutely delicious. So I hope you try this out sometime. And until next time, this is Anthony Cavello, and wishing you a great day. Peace to all. Enjoy that cooking. And till next time, bye-bye.